Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, December 9th, and I'm your host, Brian Boudreau. It's great to have you with us as we end another week here in Norwood. This week on Norwood News, Santa is coming to the NCM studios, gold medalist Nathan Chen comes to Norwood, but first, town residents gathered at the Common last Sunday night to support the Circle of Hope at its annual Luminary Night event. This is always a popular event around the holidays and brings residents together. Circle of Hope President Tim McDonough describes the night.
It's always the beginning of the holiday season, but it's a most special evening for me personally to look out and see these bags which represent so much hope and inspiration and prayers and love for so many people that we've helped or that we hope to help or to just celebrate the season. And this year is a very special year because coming up on our 25th anniversary of the Circle of Hope, which was started because of a beautiful young woman named Michelle Kennedy. We marked a milestone of $1 million of help and assistance to Norwood people. So it's a tremendous organization, and it's what Norwood is all about. It's about Norwood people giving back to Norwood people. The first year we had 600 luminary bags. We have well over 2,000 tonight. And people come up and say, well, where's my bag? The first year it was easy. We could find, wow, it's right over there or there. But we have so many now that it takes a little work, but it makes the evening. And I still said from day one, I always said, at some point, we're going to go beyond the Common and the gazebo, and we're going to go up and down Washington Street to show Norwood what we can do, and we're going to get there eventually, maybe in the next 25 years.
Started in the name of Michelle Kennedy 25 years ago, her mother Lee still keeps her promise to her daughter.
Luminary Night started with Kathy St. Cyr. We lost her last year. She was the one who talked to us about the little bags with lights in them. We just thought, it's never going to work. It's not going to work. But she was the one who pushed us into doing it, and it just exploded. And I see all the bags lit. I think Michelle is looking down because I made her a promise, and I keep the promise. And it's very, very, it's heartwarming to see it. To know so many people are involved in it, and so many people love it, and it's unbelievable. It's hard almost to imagine that this has happened.
To learn more about the Circle of Hope or to make a donation, visit their website at norwoodcoh.org. 2022 Olympic champion Nathan Chen was in Norwood last weekend at the Skating Club of Boston. Jack Tolman and Mark Hoover were at the event.
2022 Olympic gold medalist Nathan Chen was in town signing copies of his new book, One Jump at a Time. The event was at the Skating Club of Boston, and in April, Chen will be back in Norwood to skate on the ice. As club CEO and executive director Doug Zegheib explains, it is always electric when an Olympic champion is in the house.
It's always exciting to have a world and Olympic champion on your ice, in your building. And yeah, we're thrilled Nathan was able to come in before Christmas, not only to promote his book, but to also promote his appearance here at the Skating Club in April of 2023. One of the best parts of an event like this is to see the kids who are training daily, who are on their own Olympic track, who already look up to him, who saw him at the Olympics, were inspired by him, and then they get to meet him in person. And for us, putting together an event like this, that's one of the most satisfying things, is to see how the kids respond.
Ice Chips is the longest-running club-produced ice show in the world and will be held for the first time here in Norwood at the new facility.
So Ice Chips is the club's annual ice carnival. It's a theatrical ice show, colored lights, hazing, smoke in the air, spotlights, and it is actually the oldest theatrical ice show in the country. Shows you might have heard of, Ice Capades, Ice Follies, were all based on Ice Chips, which was first produced in 1914, I think. So this is, for us, a big tradition at the Skating Club of Boston. It hasn't been promoted or produced in 3 years because of the pandemic. And so we are reintroducing it, and for the first time in our new facility, and of course with Nathan Chen headlining it.
Over 200 young skaters waited in line with their families to get their book signed and have their picture taken with an Olympic champion. Chen also spoke to each one, answered questions, and even offered up some skating tips. After the book signing, NCM's Mark Hoover had a chance to talk with Chen.
Mark Hoover here for NCM and here at Skating Club of Boston, and just privileged to be joined by the world champion and Olympic gold medalist Nathan Chen. Nathan, thank you so very much for taking some time to speak with us today. You know, you're here today promoting your new book, One Jump at a Time. What was it like, kind of taking pen to paper, so to speak, to put this together?
It was a really great experience. Traditionally, I think after competitions, things happen so quickly, but having the book really forced me to reflect back on my career and all the steps that it took to get to the Olympics, and just really, highlighting all the people that have helped me get there.
We've been here for a while, and the line of people and the young skaters here was just absolutely, astounding. You took a lot of time, I was watching you, to speak with a lot of these young skaters. What do you hope the reader takes away from your story?
Mm-hmm. Really, again, the teamwork aspect of it was huge for me. Being able to have a really good group of people around me that supported me, that helped me get through hard times, good times, and just it's impossible to do anything by yourself. You have to have people that support you and help get you to where you are. So really, without all the people in this book in my life, it would have been impossible.
Well, the town of Norwood is just so proud to be home, to the Skating Club of Boston, and we've got a special relationship with the rink. I know it's your first time here, but your initial impressions of the facility and the people.
Yeah, it's amazing, and the people are incredible here. Really good energy, and the facility. I haven't skated quite yet on this facility, but it looks beautiful and really just seems very well developed for figure skaters. And I'm excited to see the future of figure skating that comes out of this rink.
Yeah, it's kind of exciting, and we understand you'll be back here in April to actually be skating out here on April 7th and 8th with the ice chips full throttle. What can spectators and fans expect to see over the course of those 2 days?
It'll be a lot of fun. These exhibitions are high energy, a lot of different skaters. There'll be a huge cast of skaters actually, and then of course, I'll be able to do some programs here, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely looking forward to having you come back here in April. Again, I want to thank you for taking time out of what I know has been a very busy day for you. Congratulations on the new book, again, One Jump at a Time, and really, congratulations on everything, and thanks for joining us. So, along with Nathan Chen, I'm Mark Hoover for Norwood News.
Thanks, Mark, for that NCM exclusive interview with world champion and 2022 gold medal champion Nathan Chen. If you want to see Nathan in person right here in Norwood, tickets are on sale now, and the event is sure to be a sellout. Ice Chips is Friday and Saturday, April 7th and 8th, and go to icechips.org for tickets and information. Even though Norwood was lucky enough to have Santa visit already, NCM is so excited to announce he is coming back on December 14th. Yes, you heard me right. Santa is coming to the NCM studios to talk to our Norwood kids. Santa is very busy, so he'll be Zooming with our kids. That means you need to sign up in advance. Check out NCM's Facebook page for the sign-up form. We'll be right back with some delicious new barbecue food in town, and Brian McKenzie lets us all about the happenings in the Norwood Public Schools.
Sign-ups are now available for Zoom calls with Santa. On December 14th at 6:30 p.m., kids can call in via Zoom to the one and only Santa Claus. Santa will be accompanied by Aaron the Elf, and you can talk to Santa about your Christmas list and what you're looking forward to during the holiday season.
In a unique setup, Bob Demaray is happy to announce that his new Smokehouse Barbecue is now open for business inside Mr. Frank's. Bob is also to happy report business has been phenomenal.
Well, Smokehouse Barbecue has been a dream of mine for a long time. I had a smokehouse grill down in South Norwood years ago. My children were very young, and I decided to give it up for my kids. And now that my kids are out of the house, I thought, time for a new hobby. Yeah, so here I am. We have brisket, we have St. Louis ribs, pulled pork, pulled chicken, half chicken, smoked sausages, smoked wings with a variety of sauces, lots of sides. We do pans to go, although we do ask for a little advance notice for those. And dinner for two, family plan for four. Yes, we're online, smokehousebbqgo.com.
To learn more about Smokehouse Barbecue, check out their website at www.smokehousebbqgo.com or pay them a visit. Town planner Paul Halkiotis accepted a new job for the town of Harwich as Director of Planning and Community Development, and his last day for the town of Norwood was Friday, December 2nd. Halkiotis' final meeting with the Planning Board was on Monday, November 21st, and Chairman of the Norwood Planning Board, Ernie Pachakowski, wished Halkiotis well on his new position.
Paul has decided to move on to greener pastures, and as much as I wish him the best, and I know he'll do great, whatever he does, I will personally and the board will miss him. I have worked with Paul, 10 years at least. I'm not even sure, probably longer. And Paul, I just want to tell you, you know how I feel about you. I think you are one of the sharpest guys. You know planning inside and out, your expertise, your leadership, your contribution, the way you deal with the board, the way you deal with contractors, developers, attorneys. Your knowledge is second to none, and you will absolutely be missed by this board, myself, the town, and I want to wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. And
Now we're going to toss it over to Brian McKenzie with school news.
Hi guys, I'm Brian McKenzie and a senior at Norwood High School. Let's take a look at some activities happening in our Norwood schools this week. This week, the NHS Madrigals traveled to the State House to help kick off the holiday season. Let's go to the NHS Choral Room to learn more.
Madrigals is an advanced Renaissance ensemble, and we got the opportunity to sing at the State House because it's part of their winter series that just reopened after COVID.
It's super cool to have the opportunity to sing in a building like the Massachusetts State House, and it's because of the way they built it, it's very echoey. So it's very satisfying as a singer to sing in an area where it just all echoes back at you. And you can really feel the history in the rooms. And it was just super special to know that I got to sing in a place where there were flags marched in after the Civil War.
It is a very special thing for me because as a singer, I get joy from singing. So to be able to share that, especially in the holiday season, it helps others to feel the same spirit, to feel jolly and to feel welcome, to feel like they are loved. And that is very important for a community to have.
At the Coakley Middle School, students in Miss Seratis' computer class spent part of their class creating and playing good old-fashioned arcade games to celebrate Jerry Lawson's birthday. Who is Jerry Lawson? He was one of the first black engineers in the video gaming industry and led the team that developed the first video gaming system. Lawson paved the way for modern video games by piloting interchangeable cartridges, allowing more than one game to be played on each console. Because of this, he is known as the father of video game cartridges. To honor Mr. Lawson's 82nd birthday, Google created a playable doodle. Google Doodle is a special temporary alteration of the logo on Google's homepages, intended to commemorate holidays, events, achievements, and notable historical figures. People worldwide could click on the Google logo and create their video games. And Miss Seratis' class did just that. As a matter of fact, I did it myself. It's always a win when you can integrate learning with fun. At the Callahan School, students in Miss Cabral's grade 4 class made collision machines last week. Check out these snapshots from videos taken by Miss Cabral, capturing students' amazing ingenuity with their designs. The students were so proud of their work. And Norwood firefighter Paul Ronco visited many classes and talked to students about fire safety. He also visited students in the cafeteria during lunch. At the Cleveland School, their student council has been hard at work, collecting items for local veterans and making blankets and chew toys for the Dedham Animal Shelter. The Willett School welcomed the Bamadelli dancers and drummers, and the students were transported to Africa by the performers' instruments, exciting rhythms, costumes, folklore, celebratory dances, and songs. During the program, dancers and drummers performed the songs and dances of Africa and explored the migration of African culture to the Caribbean and Brazil. Audience participation included Willett teachers, and the use of authentic costumes and instruments created a very memorable learning experience for our kindergarten students. The Willett staff would like to thank the parent-teacher organization for bringing the Bamadelli dancers to our community. The Little Mustangs Preschool Academy welcomed the Pumpernickel Puppets into their pre-K community last week. The Little Mustangs met several puppet friends and learned about how puppets are made. puppeteer John McDonough helps students explore ways that they can use their imagination to create their own visual shows at home. The students were a wonderful audience, and the LMPA staff would like to thank the parent-teacher organization for bringing the Pumpernickel puppets into our community. Well, that's it for school news. The students are always learning, and thanks to all the educators who share their school news with us. Now let's go to Ron Marshalsea for their latest in sports news.
I'm Ron Marshalsea, and this is your Sports Update. Last Friday, NHS alum and Southern New Hampshire University grad student Jacob Logan ran in the NCAA Division II Cross Country National Championship in Seattle. Logan managed to finish 108th out of 262 runners and set a new personal best by 20 seconds. Logan was also 4 seconds short of the SNHU school record. Congratulations to Jacob on a fantastic season and impressive collegiate career. Over at Stonehill, Solomon King, class of 2019, was recently on top of the Skyhawks performances with 4 first-place finishes. King finished in the 60-meter preliminaries with a time of 7 seconds and finished in 6.95 seconds in the 60-meter final. His next first-place finish came in the 200-meter with a time of 21.97 seconds, and in his final first-place finish, which was also a career high, he posted a leap in the high jump of 2 meters. Winter sports here at NHS are just getting started and will begin reporting on what's happening next week. If you're looking to stay up to date with schedule, scores, and rosters for the winter season, you can go to arbiterlive.com and search for Norwood High School. And that's it for sports this week. I'm Ron Marshalsea. And Norwood News will be right back after this break.
Did you know Norwood Community Media has a weekly newsletter? If you are interested in signing up, all you have to do is go to our website, norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Once you're there, scroll to the bottom of the page and click on the Sign Up for Our Newsletter button. All you have to do after that is fill out your first and last name, your email, as well as your zip code. Once you press send at the end of each week, you will have our newsletter in your inbox, ready for you to catch up on all things Norwood.
The Planning Board met on Monday night and kicked off the meeting with a public hearing, which was a continuation from the last meeting with McDonald's Corporation for their location on Broadway. James Cranston from Bowler Engineering gave an update on the site plans for the property.
Coming back to you to address the request relative to removing additional pavement and adding more landscaped area in the back of the site. We did take a look back at the history of this site and the project and the MRP process itself. Kind of went through, the amount of work that was done for that remodel project. There was a good amount of landscaping that was added. There were 41 shrubs and 3 trees, as well as a reduction of impervious area. So I just want to point that out. There are some photos, it does look better. The second item took a look at operationally what that would mean for truck circulation around the back of the site. And there are some operational photos that shows what's required from the truck's perspective to navigate around the back of the site, which would restrict, adding curbing and landscaping would restrict that and impact that. But the third item, I went into the zoning just to take a look at the landscaping and the applicability of when the landscaping requirements come into play. And section 6.4.1 applicability basically says that landscaping and screening shall be provided as specified below, and any new building addition or change of use requires parking space increase of 7 or more spaces. So when you look at the zoning and you read that, it sounds to me like unless we're adding 7 or more spaces, I guess technically we would not need to comply with supplemental landscaping for this project.
The board approved the site plan for McDonald's and will meet again on November 19th at 7 p.m. at the Norwood Senior Center. The Zoning Board of Appeals met Tuesday night at the Norwood Senior Center with 3 public hearings on their docket. On their second hearing, a special permit request for 706 Neponset Street, which is the Gulf Station across from Access Road, is seeking a permit for more parking spaces.
The plan lays out the location of the spaces, some of which are tandem spaces. Those are for cars that are there to be serviced. Those will be handled only by the employees, not by customers. There's customer parking on the front, as well as a handicap space near the building itself. The property has a convenience store and 3 garage bays. that are used for service and also for automobile inspections. My client plans to improve the property if this is approved by this board, and then also there'll be site plan review with the planning board. But he proposes to improve it by cleaning up that open area, putting down asphalt for parking, putting a fence around the property, a 6-foot fence around the property to shield the property from the residential neighbors in back on Ridge Road, as well as across the street on Ridge Road. There'll be landscaping put outside of the fence to make it more attractive. And the result, we hope, will be that this will improve traffic flow on the site and also people coming and going from the site onto Neponset Street. Right now, there's a little bit of parking at the corner of East Cross Street. There's some parking along what would become the entrance of this to this parking area that we proposed. If you look at the plan, you'll see that there are several spaces angled in along that area. This would eliminate the spaces that are angled in to the right of the building, and they would be replaced and expanded with the new area that he proposes to do.
The Zoning Board, after some discussion and request to the applicant, approved the project to move forward to the Planning Board. The Zoning Board of Appeals will meet again next month. The school committee continued their traveling meetings when they met at the Coakley Middle School on Wednesday night. The school committee continued their traveling meetings when they met at the Coakley Middle School on Wednesday night. Superintendent Dave Thompson returned to the committee and thanked those for all the well wishes and as well as those who stepped up when he was recovering from his knee surgery. The first appearance of the night was held by Project Lead the Way Teacher of the Year Christina Serratas. She started her presentation by reiterating that the award that she had won was as much as her students' award as it was hers, and then showed off some of the impressive projects created by her students.
And after, you're discussing all those dollar amounts, I'm thinking to myself, well, I'm probably responsible for some of that. Sorry, but I want to assure you that your investment was actually really good because your students are actually doing an amazing job. Like I said before, I was honored to receive the Teacher of the Year award, but it really isn't not my recognition, it's my students' recognition because they're the one that put in the work, that put up with everything, me trying to learn everything, and they're the ones that did it. And I do want to recognize the kids that actually built these projects. So this one here is just your teacup when you go to amusement park, and this was actually made by Megan Weaver and Megan Malloy. They're known as Megan Squared. That part worked. It starts playing music, and so what happens is the kids will start loading themselves onto the teacups, and is it this one? It is spinning, but this is a special teacup because I can stop it and spin it the other way. And then of course I could stop, and of course then it's off. So this here again was Megan and Megan that did this one, and I don't know what was it with the theme park theme going on last school year. I mean, I even have an ice cream truck, and like lots of theme park themes going on. So this here is, as you can probably tell, is a Ferris wheel, and it was done by Avery Truman and Shannon Lamorticelli, but I don't currently have them. I'll probably have them next semester. But I did have 4 other students in the room who are willing to jump on and make sure this is working. So I want to give credit to Reagan Curran, Sophie Brigadier, Joy Robinson, and Sydney Cochran. So they got this working. I think I plugged everything in. So what should happen is first we're going to have some sound, because the more annoying it is, the better the project. We got some lights. Yes. Now, I think the wheel's a little loppy, so we'll see if it's going to spin. Please spin. Ah. And there we go. And when I let go of the Ferris wheel, it stops. And last but not least is an air guitar. It's actually called a light guitar, but it's going to look like an air guitar to you. And the way that this works is it measures, yes. So there's a light sensor detector in the front of the microbit, and as I move my hand, it'll play different notes. I'm not sure if you can hear, I'll be quiet for a moment. So very popular project, as you can see. So I thank you for having me come here to be able to showcase some of my students' works, and I ask you to please stay tuned to Twitter, because I promise you they're all going to do fantastic. They're all going to do great projects.
Awesome. Thank you, Christina.
Back in 2012, Swan Thang, owner of Sky Spa, decided to follow her dream and open up her own beauty salon. 10 years later, she has become a staple in this town. Her love and dedication to her staff and customers is what makes her so successful. Megan Corbett and Erin Crowley were able to sit down and chat with Swan about her business.
Sky Spa, located at 451 Walpole Street, is a local beauty spa that specializes in natural nails, waxing, and lash lift services.
We specialize in natural nails, dip manicures, natural lash, and gel manicures. We don't do any official nails. We specialize in waxings and lash lift. We have a new product called the Inlay Lash Lift. It's usually for treatment for lashes, natural lashes. It's specialized in treatment and for lashes to lift and stay strong and healthy. It gives your lashes an enhancement to change people's look and appearance. And a lot of time people use serums every night, and this is it concentrates in the new nutrition for your natural lash, and they stay like that for up to 5 weeks. And if people like, they can just repeat it every 5 weeks instead of like you keep on putting serum every day.
Owner Swan Thang and her family came over to the United States to experience the American dream. With the support of her friends and family, Swan opened Sky Spa in 2012. Swan is grateful for all that her parents and husband have helped her accomplish.
It's love at first sight when I've been to Norwood and looking for a place to open my dream place and go and buy this place, and I just know it's the one. It's felt really scared. It's such a, a big pressure on me, because my husband always supported me. He's like, you're really good at it, you should make your dream come true. And it's an American dream where I always dream of. And it's something I always follow and reach my goals. So that day that we decided to open, I was like, are you sure, are you sure? And it takes us a very long time to achieve to where I am today.
Swan built a business in Norwood and quickly grew a large client base. Over the years, she has helped family and friends of Sky Spa through difficult times by organizing fundraisers.
Community is very supportive. It's a big family. Anything that happened in this community is amazing. Everything they support you. It's always something for me to lean back in its town.
Swan constantly praises her amazing staff that has been with her since the very beginning.
My team is amazing. They all been here almost since the first day we opened. And yeah, since 10 years, most of them have been here more than 6-7 years. We have an amazing, strong team. Everyone works together.
To learn more about Sky Spa, please check out Instagram or visit their website at myskyspa.com.
Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.